What's up, guys? I'm Anthony.
I'm Manny.
And we're back with another DCTV weekly recap for the week of May 1st, 2017.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Should we get right into it?
We shall.
You got it. Supergirl.
Supergirl. Alright, so this week in Supergirl, a lot of tension flaring around between Maggie and Kara. Maggie is trying to stop a hostage situation, and Kara just flies right in there as Supergirl and takes them out. And Maggie feels like underutilized, unappreciated. You know, like Supergirl doesn't have to do everything. There are smaller crimes that the police can still handle. They still are important.
Yeah, she's just barging in there, breaking shit, and she's like, I spent 15 hours or something along those lines trying to talk down this hostage.
And then you just come in there like fucking gangbusters and take them out. So they got into a little fight during dinner. Alex tells Maggie, just to try to get along with her, try to make it work. And she goes to tell Kara, who stormed out, the same thing. And then the next day, Maggie goes to Kara and is like, have you seen Alex? Turns out she never came home. And she never made it to see Kara either. So, Kara gets a phone call from somebody with a picture of an unconscious Alex, and he has kidnapped her. And he says that unless she can break Peter Thompson out of prison...
in Alcatraz.
Alex will die. And he knows that she is Supergirl. So then the whole struggle begins of, 1, find out who this guy is. 2, find out where Alex is being kept. And 3, what's the connection with Peter Thompson? Why is he so important to get out of prison? What they end up finding out is the guy behind this whole thing is Rick Malvern, who is Peter Thompson's son. Not only that, he knows that Kara is Supergirl because, and this I felt was a great callback, the flashback we got in season 1 of Kara on the beach and then saving the mother and baby from the burning car, they actually did a callback to that flashback where Rick was actually there.
The kid that liked Alex, that was asking her to the beach.
Yes, he liked Alex, and he witnessed Kara do this incredible feat. Even though everyone said, it was just adrenaline, it was nothing serious, he knew, and he kept that in his mind until Supergirl started popping up on the news, and he was able to put 2 and 2 together. And he wants his father out of prison because his father saved him from a terrible life.
Yep.
So he wants to do the same for him. And of course, the tension with Maggie continues where they're both trying to save Alex, but in their own respective ways.
Yeah, and they're butting heads while trying to do it, which is really not helping.
Yeah, anything. Which kind of... They didn't have any gray area. It really was just black and white. Like, Maggie was like, we have to be calm and strategic and do this. And Kara's just like, I'm going to break shit.
Because it's my sister.
Yeah.
It's my sister.
That's it. Like, she was going in there like a fucking bull in a china shop. And Maggie wanted to take the more delicate approach. And that was very obvious the whole episode that they had completely opposing sides.
And then we find out why this tension really is there. And it's because of the fact that Kara feels that her love takes precedent over Maggie's for Alex because she's her sister.
Yeah.
And that's when Maggie actually says, well, wait, I love her too, and I love her just as much.
And I like that Maggie made a good point. She's like, I'm the person who was able to, make her be who she really is. Because she is the person who convinced her and made her realize to come out.
Exactly.
And Kara, all those years of being her sister and being there for her, never even realized it.
Yeah.
So that is saying something for their relationship and her as a character. It was a good point for her to make.
Exactly. In the end, they work together, though.
Yes, of course. In the end, in typical TV show fashion, they work together. And although Maggie was teetering towards the dark side, where she actually did break Peter Thompson out of prison, almost to the door.
Yeah, but Kara talked her off the ledge and convinced her to do something.
Pretty much by doing, giving Maggie back her own words that she had told Kara earlier. Exactly. Which made her realize that what she was doing was wrong.
And she convinced the father.
Yes, Peter Thompson was actually the one to reveal where he probably took Alex. Because what had happened was they thought they had a location on Alex, so of course, again, Kara went right in there like gangbusters
but it was
and dropped the clock from, 24 hours
to 4.
To 4.
Yep.
And then the tank that she was in started filling with water, so Kara really shit the bed on that one.
Yeah. But they got to Alex just in time. She's very resourceful. If you do not understand how much of a badass that Alex is in this series, this episode has to have cemented it for you. I mean, her will to live and just the things that she was doing in the small little windows that she had to even operate, because she's in this encased room filled with glass that's getting like warm, that's getting all the water's just coming up. She's drowning, but she did this Navy SEAL shit with her pants that let her buy a couple more minutes so that they could really save her, and they do. I mean, my God, the resiliency in that woman.
They really put a spotlight on her skill set.
Yes,
of what she's capable of doing, just strictly to survive.
Yeah, and it was incredible. Yeah, it was incredible.
Like even the fact that with her transmitter, she took it out of her shoulder.
She had to cut it out of her shoulder,
and then she hooked it up to the camera to get a signal out. I mean, they really put a spotlight on her survival skills in this episode and what she was capable of.
Yeah, I thought this was a really powerful episode.
Yeah,
it was really intense, and it was darker than normal Supergirl episodes. You have like these like light moments during Supergirl for the most part, but this time it was like the jeopardy and the danger didn't feel over dramatic. It felt everything was just exactly how it should have been.
Right.
And what I loved, Maggie, who doesn't really open up, you don't see her open up too often in this series, but for once you finally got to see her be super vulnerable. Like the way that she was talking with Alex, saying like, "Oh,
when she had the laptop,
I want to have all those firsts with you."
Where she broke down.
Yeah, and she was like breaking down, and you actually, for the first time, I really saw to the fullest degree. I was like, "Oh my God, she loves this woman."
Yeah, I mean, and as you guys know, I wasn't the biggest follower of their relationship at the beginning of the season.
But now,
it's grown on me. Yeah, and this episode even solidified it further. Like this, I can get behind it. I definitely can. But also the side story we had going on, not to do with Guardian.
He wasn't in the episode again, and it was
a great episode. Coincidence? So the side plot we had going on was with Lena Luthor and Riot, who tried to pass as a human. Mm-hmm. That just wanted L Corp's resources and investment.
Thank the gods that didn't work.
So, of course. So Lena ends up, figuring it out. Like something's off here. I like what she did with the elevator. She's like, "Oh, I want to give you elevator access, so you don't need security. Just put your fingerprint." Yeah. Boom, got the alien identifier. Yep. That was great. And then she ends up, coming. I mean, you can tell Ray is malicious. Yeah. You know she's up to some schemy shit. Yeah. But what I liked is that they didn't push that envelope too soon. Like after she was after she was figured out, she still came off genuine. Like she was honest enough. She's like, "Look, I'm sorry I lied to you, but here's what it is." You know what I mean? Like she was still trying to be honest
because she's playing a chess game. Man.
Yeah. And so she didn't come out right away and was like, "Well, then you'll die." Like no, she was still being strategic and genuine about it.
And Lena liked that, so she actually gave her a second chance. Now, what's going to be very interesting is how she called Kara asking for help, but Kara, given the circumstances of what was going on simultaneously with Alex, she couldn't talk at the moment. So had she just listened to her for a little bit, she might have been able to actually prevent this whole thing from furthering.
And that was done on purpose.
Yeah, of course.
Just to be like when you get those moments where like you're looking for someone and you walk right past them and they're in like the corner that you don't see. Like, it's one of those moments where like it was so close to being prevented, but
it was well written though. You know what I mean? Like I just thought this was a solid episode all around. It was really enjoyable, action packed, a lot of character growth, and just seeing Maggie finally be vulnerable was just grade A for me. Grade A for me.
Yep. I liked it.
So we're on to?
Yeah, on to
The Flash.
The Flash.
All right. Whew. Okay. I'll compose myself till later.
Just forewarning, there is going to be a very strong Flash debate at the end of this review.
At some point.
At the end of this episode review, not the week.
Okay, so we have Miss Brand.
Tracy Brand, yeah.
Yes, we have Miss Brand. We have Miss Tracy Brand, and she is not the accomplished scientist, physiologist, I'm forgetting.
Really smart person.
Physicist, that's who it is. She's not as accomplished as she will be in the future. I mean, she's actually quitting her dissertation. She failed, I think, 10 times or something like that. Or she failed her dissertation. She fucked up. She was giving up on everything, and then Team Flash finds her, and they're like, "Don't give up. You're actually going to help a lot of people." And also turns out that Killer Frost is on the loose trying to kill her because she wants to prevent her from helping them. And while this is going on, they got into a couple of fights, and Cisco each time wanted to blast her with his vibes, but he just keeps remembering the good times that he has with Caitlin, and he's thinking to himself, "I can't do this. She's my friend. I don't." It was a real struggle, and Carlos Valdez did a really good job at like conveying that struggle that he was having, trying to like not injure his friend because he's afraid of killing her. Yeah. He's like, "My hands are weapons," and while this is happening, Miss Brand, Tracy, ends up getting close with HR.
I loved their exchanges in this episode. HR was so it was just funny to see him really try to get her attention.
He had his game going. He did have his game going. And that's
and
not
then
all,
pretending to be smart.
Yeah, and that's not all the love that was happening. So Cecile told Joe that she loved him, and he was kind of like, what? Trying to just buy time. It was a little confusing for me the way that he was reacting. And first it seems like, oh, maybe he wasn't there yet, but then it turns out that he was at the end. But he asked Barry for help, and Barry was like, yeah, just be honest with her. I mean, if she's going to be this person that's going to be in your life in the future, she's going to have to know about all of us, all of our secrets. So he was like, I'm cool with it. Tell her. And so Joe's like, thanks for the advice. And then like 2 seconds later, he's like, oh, I'm so confused. Like, I don't understand what was the point of asking and then getting this advice when you could have just, whatever. But again, this goes back to, what are they not doing again? They're not listening and paying attention to when other people are going through the same exact shit. Like, you already know the answer. It's happened to multiple people on the show already. What do? You're still perplexed by things that have already been answered numerous times. It's annoying. Anyway, he breaks up with her because that obviously is the correct thing to do in this scenario. After he breaks up with her, Killer Frost actually kidnaps her and wants to exchange her for Tracy. When that happens, Team Flash comes in, bada bing, bada boom. Cisco gets over his fear, blasts Caitlin, and just as she's down for the count, Savitar comes in, takes Caitlin away. And Joe has the talk with Cecile. He gets back with her, and his emotions were just a little confusing to me this episode. I'm sorry. I was like, how you won? You know what I mean? Like, it was a little too much.
Well, I was surprised that, like, especially after, you used my word.
Yeah, it was forced.
Especially after, like, Barry had a conversation with him where it's like, look, at some point you're going to have to be honest with her and just tell her. I was surprised that he actually went the route of being like, nah, fuck it, I'll break up with her instead.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. It just felt really forced. It did. It didn't. It's like the Flash is so obsessed. Like, we have to have some kind of relationship.
I actually thought they were going to go more the route of, like, he hasn't loved anybody since his wife.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking,
so he was struggling to open that door again.
Yeah.
But then when he brought up the whole, like, no, it's more just about how dangerous my lifestyle is, and it's like, yeah, but... I mean, at this point, you're okay with your daughter being in that lifestyle.
Exactly.
Not and your son, and your other son.
Yeah.
So it's like... What's somebody else again,
Yeah, I mean, and that's her decision to make if she wants to be a part of it. If she hears that and she's like, I can't do that,
right?
Then that it is what it is. But she's saying, she.
And that's the cliche thing is like, oh, I lied or I pushed you away to protect you.
Yeah,
that's such a cliche.
That's what everything is said. Like every show regarding a superhero, that's why they do it. It's to protect you.
Yeah.
Every single time, you can without fail. But I just felt like that plot was a little weird. Given the circumstance of what was going on in the rest of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's take a brief moment and delve into Joe's love life while this woman, Tracy, is going to be murdered by Killer Frost. How does that go hand in hand with each other? You know what I mean? Like, that's so extreme, and then, like, do I really care right now, this particular time, for this story plot, It just felt weird. And if it's that big of a deal, why doesn't Savitar kill her himself?
Yeah, that's what I'm surprised at. Like, he really was using Caitlin to do it, but like he could have done just.
Guess what? I snapped. He could have just snapped her neck at the same exact time.
Especially when he came to pick up Caitlin.
Yeah, he could have easily.
You were like in the same vicinity as her.
Run there. Oh my God, Caitlin's on the ground. Half a second went by. Pick her up. Leave. Oh my God! By the time he leaves, Tracy dead.
So one important thing happened in that final fight scene. Besides the great CGI we had in this episode, I felt.
Yeah.
And that great like. Almost, I mean, for anybody who's like an anime fan, like that Dragon Ball Z beam struggle kind of thing going on between Killer Frost, Ice Beam, and his vibes, that was fantastic. I love that.
And not to mention she pulled like a Silver Surfer and was like
gliding around the whole city. That was great.
It didn't make sense though, because like how if it's going up, wouldn't she slide backwards on ice?
No, she's controlling it. Why does Iceman slide backwards when he does that shit?
It's a Silver Surfer. I don't know, man. It's I don't know.
Iceman does that same exact move.
All right,
but So one important thing that happened in that final fight is that there was a part where anything Barry was saying, Caitlin was able to mimic to the T at the exact point that he was saying it. And she's like, well, Savitar told me exactly what you were going to say, and he also told me that Cisco's waiting in the rafters or something. And they were all like, how could he be so precise with the details of what's going on?
Yes, how could he be so precise?
The debate's coming. It's coming.
Jesus Christ. So, after beating a dead horse, then bringing in another dead horse to beat as well, then bringing 5 more dead horses to beat in as well, this whole entire season as to who the fuck Savitar is, we finally get our answer, and it's Guys, are you surprised? It's future Barry!
I was right! Oh yeah.
Holy shit.
Let's cut in that theory. I remember from episode 4 of our podcast. We will cut that in.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you want to watch that whole episode, link will be in the description below. And then I'm thinking, what if he's not saying, I am the future, comma, Flash. He's saying, I am the future Flash. You know, what if Savitar somehow is a different version of Barry Allen that was only created after Barry did Flashpoint? You know?
It's
and maybe
possible.
Savitar saying, you are there at the point of my creation, because technically his creation is maybe when Iris dies. You know? Maybe that spirals him into, like, you know, just some crazy thing where he just loses himself.
Yeah.
And the reason that he's there is because he's there when Iris dies.
Clip's done. Great. I'm glad we did that. Awesome. Now, honestly, think about this wholeheartedly. This season has tried so hard to have mystery, but its mysteries are complete dick.
Then where was your Barry fucking theory?
The internet said it the day after.
The day after what?
The episode aired where Julian was used basically as like as a marionette or whatever, or what have you.
So like when I said it, the internet
puppet.
said it.
Well, everyone said it. Everyone said it. Like if you, all you had to do was just go on, hit Google, The Flash is future Barry Savitar. I mean, last night's episode said blah blah blah. But there was little tidbits throughout the entire season looking back where you have Reverse Flash using Flashpoint. Who's the villain now, Flash? Who's the villain now?
Well, that's not really a tidbit as much as
that's a foreshadow.
Right, but it's a very subtle foreshadow where obviously you don't think about that until you realize like where it went.
But then also in the crossover with Arrow and Legends, you have Oliver telling Barry when he's in that secret room at Star Labs with him saying, "You're not a god, Barry. Oh, just you wait."
But again,
just saying,
another.
I know, but I'm just saying. I'm talking about the season foreshadowing it. Is that not foreshadow? It is.
Okay.
It's foreshadowing. So once Julian obviously was used twice with a metaphorical hand up his ass to be speaking for Savitar, he said both times, "I'm the future Flash. I'm the future Flash."
I know he did.
And then that's what obviously officially sparked that whole thing. And it seemed really
because
obvious.
the whole comma, no comma.
Yeah, because it was so obvious. And then literally the episodes just kept confirming it for you. Like, it wasn't even fun anymore. They just did so many things, like especially with they capped it off with the Once in Future Flash episode where he was in, I think I might have said this on the podcast last week when I said he's in 2024, has captured him. He still doesn't know his identity. I was like, that was the deadest giveaway ever officially. Like, if you were 97% sure that it was future Barry, last week's episode should have been like, oh, here's the 3%. It's right there. Because, especially Caitlin, you're going to be so surprised. Because it's you.
Okay,
That's why.
So, now the rebuttal.
I'm not done yet.
Oh, Jesus.
One more thing. You know what this felt like? Do you know what this felt like?
What did it feel like?
It felt like, because they were giving you all these clues leading up to this, right? Everyone knew already. It was like, please just get it over with already. It's like if you were to tell me, right? Hey, man, my birthday is between March 12th and March 14th. Okay, so it's the 13th. I'm not going to say it yet. But it's
It wasn't
the 13th.
that on the nose.
It's not. I'm not going to say it. And then it's like, okay, we're getting closer to March 13th. Have you guessed it yet? I think it's March 13th. No, wait, you're going to find out. You're going to be so surprised. Oh my God. And then it's the 13th and you're like, dude, it's today. Today's my birthday. And I'm like, I fucking knew for weeks.
Okay, now can I rebuttal?
Go for it, please.
Here we go. There's going to be a fight up in here. Alright, so, as someone, forget the fucking internet. We are humans. We are here. As someone who had this theory, just based on that episode of Julian, being the puppet and everything, like, I was still excited to get that reveal. As someone who had the theory himself, I was still excited to have that reveal
because you were right.
No, not only because I was right, just because of the fact that it's like, almost to the point that I was right, but not, no, but not in that sense. Only to the point where it's like, could all these dots actually be connected in that way? You know what I mean? Where it's like, oh my God, this is exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And yet, was it getting a little more obvious towards the end where Caitlin said, you're going to be so surprised, or, wait, how was he able to know word for word of what I was going to say and all that? Yeah, it did, but at the same time, I'm not going to lie, it wasn't so obvious to the same fact that you were still getting different theories as of last week.
Of course.
Because if you remember,
anything,
exactly,
yeah.
after Caitlyn saw his identity, but we didn't, she said, what do you need me to do? The internet sparked up again. Well, the only person Caitlyn would trust like that is Ronnie.
I said also it could be Barry.
Yeah,
I mean,
yes,
anyone that she knew.
But
anyone that she knew she would trust.
But just the fact that even if you want to say it was so on the nose, it still left small openings to be like, wait, what if it's Ray? Ray. What if it's Ronnie? What if it's... I was seeing things about Eobard Thawne. Eddie Thawne being Savitar, you know, and all these theories. Just the fact that this character was able to spark such debate and you know, intrigue from the community, you know, is a great success on its own. You want to say you weren't happy to reveal, that's one thing, but to say that it wasn't successful, you can't, because so many people had so many different theories. It really had the fan base thinking.
I'm not saying it wasn't successful.
I mean, they were picking out details from everywhere just to be like, it's Eddie, it's Ronnie, it's Barry.
What I'm saying is that I feel like it was dragged the fuck out. Oh my god. We have 3 episodes left, that's it, and we finally get who it is, like... I mean, Jesus, at least they gave us the courtesy in the first 2 seasons of, like, giving us a little bit of a twist with who we thought it was. Even, you know, first season we knew it was him, but it still wasn't him technically. Like,
but now, don't forget, we also have to find out how he even came to be.
I know, and they better do that. Like, they better do that Tuesday.
I don't know if they can, because Tuesday's episode seems more focused on it's a little more lighthearted.
I need an origin story. Losing his memory and not knowing anything. It's so confusing. Like, you need to just know who. Like, I need to know by now. It's that time. Come on.
But I do like. I mean, we kept saying that future Barry looked, if anything, younger than present-day Barry.
Yeah, because of the wig.
And it made sense because they had another future Barry waiting in the wind where he needed to look different from the future Barry we knew.
Yeah, he's got like,
a
burned face or something like that.
But still, I was still excited for the reveal, and I'm happy it happened. You want to know something?
I just wanted it to be over.
And I got to tell you something. The moment of the reveal, I felt was really powerful. You know? I remember when Savitar first showed up, physically, where I first said it was Barry. Like, I thought Barry was going to punch the helmet, and part of it was going to come off, and you were going to see his face. And after seeing what they actually did, I'm happy they didn't do something like that. Because this, I felt, was so much more powerful because it was so much more emotional, and it was so much more on a personal level. You know, because you had Barry at that point when he's sitting with Joe and Wally and Iris, and they're all talking, and then he just gets that one line. And I don't know if it was Joe or Iris who said it, where they're like, oh, well, we don't know who we would be without love.
Yeah, it was Joe.
And like just that one line all of a sudden sparked him, and he just started flying back with flashbacks of like, oh my god, like, and he started piecing it all together right there in that instance. I felt like that was so great. That was powerful for me, you know, on a personal level, for him to be able just to figure it out in his own head by himself. You know, it wasn't a Star Labs moment where they had the clear board and he's jotting things down.
I know.
That was fantastic to me.
I agree with you. The thing that I'm saying is that it took too long. It sucked the fun out of it for me, the fact that it took so long. Like, I just wanted it to be over at this point, just so they could say, okay, let's have it be Barry already, just please. It made it not fun for me anymore. If they did that like 3 episodes prior, I would have been like, awesome. But the fact that they dragged us out to episode 20, and then like, it was what everyone already pretty much speculated already, and you dragged it out all season, and it was I don't know, man. It made me so upset. I was just like, ugh, okay, finally, now we can move on. I was exhausted when I saw it. I was like, thank you, finally. Let's see what else we can do now that that's over. You know what I mean? Because you gotta be careful with reveals. You can't do it too early, but you can't do it too late either, because then you either don't give the other people enough time to enjoy, or you overshoot, and then people are just like, all right, you know, like, well, insert DJ Khaled. DJ Khaled for Barry. Congratulations, you played yourself, literally.
Let me give you this to answer. What was a better secret identity reveal, Savitar or Prometheus?
Prometheus.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about length of time. I'm talking about physical moment reveal.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
So Oliver just going to Talia and being like, who is he? Oh, he's Agent Chase. Thanks.
Oh, I thought you were talking about when he takes his mask off and everything. Because no one really...
No, I'm talking about in the story. Not the fact that we knew. Because that was fucking stupid, too. On the rooftop. I'm Agent Chase. I'm Prometheus. I'm the most fucking skilled person, and I'm not I know every angle, but let me take my mask off on this random rooftop.
You're talking about the way that they revealed it.
Yes.
Okay, then that goes to the Flash, because it was like a better, like, coming to, realization of everything.
And it was a better story.
As opposed to having it just, like, fed to you right there. That's better. But the way that they went about it, awful.
We will have to agree to disagree. So now let's jump onto our last show, Arrow.
Bang.
So, if you remember from the end of last episode, they had that magical technology that would just say, Agent Chasey's right there. See it? Right around the corner. Under the rock? Right there. And the EMP exploded. The reason we know it's an EMP is because Felicity's legs don't work because the chip implant that Curtis put in is dead. Mm-hmm. So, the entire bunker is shut down. The doors won't open. The elevator won't work. Nothing is working. They are trapped down there. And while the episode's going on trying to escape, they're trying to escape, you are getting that personal debate and struggle between the two of them of Felicity saying, you don't trust me. You don't back any of my plays, even though I back all of yours, even when I don't agree.
Yeah. Which goes back to a flashback from 11 months prior.
Yes, the flashbacks in this episode left Russia and all of that, and they went to just 11 months ago.
Of Oliver and
pretty
Felicity.
much around the time, like,
After dark.
So after the season finale.
But before the season started.
Before the season started when she was with Billy. So they were just, both single.
Yeah, and the love was still there. You could see it. And they end up spending the time together biblically. So Green Arrow got it in one more time. And as they're talking, Felicity like, this doesn't change anything, though, in the end, because guess what? You don't trust me. And she goes, and I don't know why you can't trust me fully. She goes, and what I liked was that she said it wasn't even about the fact that it was, William. Which was what we were all led to believe, because we were like, wow, what an asshole. Like, that's not your secret to, like, know, so what was the big deal of leaving?
Right.
She said it resembled, like, a bigger thing, which was...
Right, it's what William represented.
Yeah, like this is a big conversation to have, and you don't trust me enough to have it with me. So until, you figure... Cause she said, I don't even think you know why. I don't even think you know why you don't trust me. She said, so until you do, this can never work.
Right.
So that I liked, because it made her look like more of a human as opposed to just being a savage.
It gave the struggle and her point more substance.
Yeah.
It wasn't such a shallow reason.
Yeah, exactly. And she apologized, actually, finally, for that. At the end of the episode, she realized everything. Yeah. And she was like, I'm sorry.
But what we get during the escape is, and something else just to prove Felicity's point even stronger, that he doesn't back her plays. She has an idea to restart the power somehow, while he says, no, I'm just going to climb the elevator shaft.
And she's like, but don't you think Chase would have thought about that?
If you thought of it, and he thought of it.
And he did.
Yeah, and Oliver ends up falling on top of some kind of, like
nail-looking thing.
Rebar, nail kind of thing.
Really,
which ends up reopening after Felicity tries to stitch it
again. Yeah,
and between that, but then it turned out Felicity's plan didn't work either.
Yeah.
So both of them
broke a gas main, and while this was going on,
a toxic gas.
Yeah, flammable gas main. While that's going on, Team Arrow figured, obviously, like, we haven't heard from these people, so we should probably check on them. They're trying to fix things, and while that's going on as well, Diggle and his wife finally reconcile after they hash out a few things. It was getting a little gritty in the beginning. Like, hey, you want to go? See, man, we can battle with the words. And instead, it's pretty much the same problem that Felicity had with Oliver, with Lila and Diggle.
They did have mirroring situations this week.
Yeah.
Like, their struggle was on a parallel path with each other.
Yeah, she felt like Diggle can trust Ollie with anything, but he won't do that with her. So she gave him an audit of all the things she's done during Black Ops as the director of all.
I mean, she pretty much wanted them both to meet halfway.
Yeah, exactly.
Where she's like, here, you want to say that about me? Here's all the Black Ops sites and missions that I signed off on. Now you know them all too.
Yeah.
But I need you to trust me and back me like you back Oliver.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had Oliver and Felicity, where she's like, I back everything you do, even when I don't agree. I just need you to do the same for me.
Exactly.
So they had those parallel kind of struggles going on this week, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah. But Team Arrow worked without, obviously, Oliver. It was Diggle at the helm, and they managed to save Oliver and Felicity. There was a lot of drama involved with things happening where Oliver kept passing out because of the mixture of the gas with the cut and everything, but his will to, like, basically, and love pretty much for Felicity, saved him and her with his resiliency to, like, hold on, make some jumps with this paralyzed female on his back, literally.
And can I just say, to the point that Diggle pretty much had to hold 300 pounds with one arm?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. The T-Spheres got a little upgrade because Argus took them and then modified them without Curtis's knowledge, but they look even cooler than before, so that's pretty awesome. And overall, though, it was a pretty solid episode. And the way it ended was really messed up because Prometheus has found Oliver's son William.
Yep.
Ooh, that's not going to bode well for anybody next week. It's going to be a shit show.
he's really hitting every angle.
Yeah.
With this whole get revenge.
Now you're taking his kid. Now you're taking his kid. Say it with me, guys. #Savitar. #Vandal Savage.
Both. He deserves both.
He does deserve both.
But yeah, I mean, strong episode in terms of, you know, even as far as season 5 now, almost at the end of season 5, there is still a lot of character growth for these people to have.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? And we had a lot of it this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Between the flashbacks of Oliver and Felicity and the present day of what they were going through.
And we might get Olicity. Might be coming back, guys.
It might come back, which I know might be.
It's gonna be mixed reviews.
Yeah,
mixed reviews.
And it might have a lot of people in an uproar. But let's see. They might handle it more delicately this time around. You know, where it's not just the Felicity show.
Yeah. But Oliver and Felicity had a great moment with each other right when they were thinking they were going to be on the brink of death, where essentially Oliver tells her, "It's not that I don't trust you. I trust you with everything. It's that I don't trust myself. Why? Because you killed. You liked it. I'm not going to do it. Don't worry." But Felicity talks to him about it and kind of reassures him that he's a great he's a great person, even though he's saying he doesn't know who he is. So she's like, maybe you should figure that out. You
know what I did like that she said? You know, it's easy to just be like, "That's not you." You know, and then she's like, "Okay, thanks." Like, then it's over. But I really like what she said. She made a really great point where she said, you know, pretty much, 5 years in hell, and 5 years, facing what you've faced since you came back,
and you haven't.
The fact that you could even still continue to try to do what you're doing shows what kind of person you are. Mm-hmm. And I thought it was a really great point because a lot of people don't realize it, but between the show's running and the flashbacks that we got,
10 years.
He's been doing this for a decade.
Yeah.
A decade of dealing with the most dark, evil, sadistic people. Between what we've gotten with Deathstroke, Ra's al Ghul, Damien Dark, things like that, and then even going back where
Malcolm Merlin,
even Malcolm Martin, and then even with having to deal with the Brafa in Russia, surviving on Lian Yu, dealing with everything in Hong Kong, everything he's dealt with. It's been a decade of this, and the fact that, and she made a really great point to say that after a decade, you're still trying to be this better person. Right, shows what kind of person you are. And I was like, kudos to you, Felicity. That's a very good point.
Yeah, it was a really awesome episode to enjoy, and just this season is getting to the helm, and I'm really upset that it's going to be ending soon because they're really on some strong footing right now. And I look forward to next week with what's going to happen with William. That being said, on to our rankings.
Yes.
Would you like to go first this time?
I'll go first. All right. Come Tuesday, I was like, Flash has got to be number 1. But then Arrow happened. So my ranking is going to be number 1, I will go with Arrow. Very strong episode. I like these kind of episodes where not a lot happens out there. It's more of a personal, secluded situation. Right. And then you get to witness how these people deal with it. You know, I really like those kind of episodes. Very strong. A lot of character growth for Oliver and Felicity and for their relationship and where it can be going. Really great. Number 2, I will go with Flash. I loved it. I loved it. And I know the reveal could be saying it's obvious, it's this, but I still loved it. And I love the fact that we do finally have the reveal, and now we can go past that and say, okay, where's this going next? I'm not gonna lie. Evil Future Barry looks fucking cool.
Yeah, he does.
I'm not gonna lie, he looks sick.
He does.
So, very excited on that. The one problem I do have is, yes, okay, so he lived this, right? And that's how he knows all the details. But in order to live it, he would have had to face Savitar, who is in fact
him. Exactly.
Who is Savitar.
Yeah, it's confusing as shit.
That's the only thing. But overall, I love the episode. I love the reveal, and I love the personal moment Barry had to figure it out. Number 3, I will go Supergirl. Not a bad episode. Great episode. In my opinion, not as strong or powerful as the 2 before it. But I still loved it anyway. We got Kara and Maggie to have that kind of tension and reconcile for it. The whole struggle for for Alex to be in that situation and then showing her survival skills off, I thought was great. And even the callback to the flashback of her saving the mother and child from the car, I thought was an awesome thing. So, Arrow, Flash, Supergirl.
All right, now I'm gonna go Arrow first as well. I really liked everything. The character growth. I'm glad that him and Felicity finally had that talk, because it was kind of like something that you would think they would talk about beforehand, or at least at some point up before now, with the whole William situation, why they broke up. They never delved into that. So pretty much a year later, a little over a year later, they finally get to discuss it, and it was needed. And it's nice to see like Team Arrow function without him too, because it shows you that they're growing as well as a team. And it was awesome episode. And second, I'm going with Supergirl. I love the intensity. I love the way that the episode went from start to finish. My only qualm with it was that the dude had a year to prep, as he claimed, that was doing all of this. But it was like very Batman-esque, the way that he was plotting things. Like, he was able to tell when Jean was pretending to be his father. He was able to block his mind-reading ability. Like, this dude was on some, like, Bruce Wayne shit. It was good. He did it, and I believed it. But still, it was a little like, how, But nonetheless, it was a really good episode. I loved seeing Alex's resiliency, Maggie's openness finally, and vulnerability. And then last, I will go with Flash. I just didn't care. I did not care for this episode. I really didn't. And it sucks because I like the show so much. The reveal took forever. They even had to drag it out to the very end of the episode just because they didn't want to give it to you in the beginning of the episode, even though you know who it was going to be. I didn't get why Joe had this love thing going on while they're trying to protect a woman's life. It just seemed like two things that should, it didn't seem like something that should be put at the forefront right now, given the circumstances in the season and where we're at. Cisco's storyline where he couldn't shoot Caitlin was like the best thing I felt about the episode, where the most believable for me, because Savitar could have just killed Bran and it would have been over. But we're not gonna acknowledge that for whatever reason as well. So yeah, that's that. Whew.
So there you go, guys. That is our ranking for this week. Are you feeling good?
No. No.
Alright, guys. As always, like the video, comment. Let us know what you think about Savitar being Barry from the future, an alternate Barry from Flashpoint, whatever it is. Let us know what you think about that reveal. Let us know what you think of the possibility of Felicity coming back. Subscribe to catch more of these podcasts every week. We are getting to the final three for every show. So big things happening. Mm-hmm. And we will be here every step of the way with them. So, till then, guys, I'm Anthony.
I'm Manny.
And we'll see you next time. Later.
Congratulations, Barry. After 3 full seasons of The Flash, you're finally the fastest man alive. Asshole.